Hey everyone, Jamie Pate here, and welcome to this walkthrough video. I am usually doing process videos here on this channel. Today we're going to change it up a bit because I have some tags that I just want to walk through with you so you can see just pretty much how these came together, how doable they are for you. And what you might notice here is I have some new product on the table. This is Art Walk by Heidi Swapp. Brand new. I'm filming this in February of 2020. So some of these products that I've linked below might not quite be available yet, but they are shipping. And so just let ScrapbookCom know you are interested in receiving a notification as to when this will be available. You can click through and leave them your email. It's as easy as that. They're super awesome about letting you know when a product is available. So let's get started. First, I want to note that all these tags, I have about 6 tags here, and all these tags have a base. And there is a cardstock base. One of them does not. But what's consistent with every one of these tags is this tag base. Link through to my blog to get a download for the tag size that I'm using here. And I typically just kind of go with the same size and build around it. And that's all I did. So that's one thing super consistent with every one of these tags is the tag is the same size, same base. And what I've done very often with the tag base, this is a white basil paper that I love to use. I've texturized the edges just either with my fingernail or with a ruler or with a texture tool. This particular tag, let's talk about it for a minute. So lots of layers, and that was the idea. I just wanted to layer. Read this post over at HeidiSwap.com. This was a creative play that I just jumped into, and it actually ended up being sort of a therapeutic healing for me to just play. And it actually turned into these tags that I really loved, and I really wanted to share them with you. And that's what I want to do today. So let me show you each one and what I put into each one of them. Okay, so as I already explained, each tag base, for the most part, and if there's a difference, I'll show you, starts with this textured basil paper. This one, I used the 6x8 paper pad from Art Walk, Heidi Swapp's brand new paper pad. Super beautiful. I kept these tags pretty neutral. There are some flamboyant patterns in here, but I kept this pretty subtle and simple. So you can see this pattern paper that I used here, I cut it smaller than the tag, and I V-notched it. And I do that by just cutting up right in the middle and then going from the corner to the corner to make that. I did the same thing with the vellum, just a piece of vellum. Then after I got this all layered down, I stamped the vellum with the Art Walk stamps. They're mostly texture stamps. There's a great palm leaf here, but there's this awesome, I love this postage stamp and this Enjoy Now. And that's what you can see right there, is that Enjoy Now. Then what I did, and this is available right now at ScrapbookCom, these mink sheets, and this is what it looks like. These are 6x6, and you just take them out and you cover them with a foil. My foil of choice these days, and has been for a while, is champagne. I just think everyone should have this in their stash. It's a beautiful color of foil. Super subtle too. It's not brash or bright. It's lovely. And what I did is I just cover this entire transfer sheet, if you will. It's not a transfer sheet, it's a mink sheet, with the foil, and I run it through my machine on number 3 setting, and then I get this whole sheet of paper. This is from another project, so ignore the for you. But what I did then is cut out this heart on the silhouette machine. So I have a solid champagne mink heart. Then I took the pattern paper from Art Walk. You can see some of it here. Just cut about 1/2 inch pieces, notched them both, layered them in here. And then the I Love You Girl is, and you're going to see these stickers a lot. These are probably my favoriteest product from Art Walk, and it's these definition stickers. Heidi Swapp had these out a long time ago, and they're back, and I'm so excited. They're awesome. You will be using those in all the places. I just put a small hole in that sticker, and I notched it. Then you can see there's a hole through all the other layers, and I wrapped it with baker's twine, and the little tiny sticker is tied in with this really pretty gold metallic thread that I have, and that's how that tag came together. So this one What's fun about tags that I call a variation on a theme is just playing with keeping yourself super limited to your product and then using them in different ways every time. It's a great creative exercise, and plus you're not like pulling all this product out from everywhere. You're just using literally what you have right there on your workspace. So you can see again, we started with the white textured tag, distressed the edges. This time I use brand new Heidi Swapp texture paste, as well as these stencils that are also part of the Art Walk collection. And there are 10 stencils in here. They are a heavy duty. So what I'm trying to say here is there's a coating on this cardstock. So even though I use the texture paste and line this up just like that, and I use the texture paste to give a stencil to my tag, then I let it dry really well, layered it with the champagne foil again, ran it through the Ink machine per directions on a number 3 setting. I was still able, even though that was a wet stencil, I was still able to go and use like a wipe and clean this up. And if you could see my perspective, you can see there's a little bit of residue left, but at this point, this is still very reusable. So we have I love you, this circle, dot, stencil, use that kind of thing all the time. I use this on the tags. I'll show that to you. This is just a lot of fun, like a word jumble kind of stencil here. Tell your story. I have used that one already. Everything is going to be okay. And can you see? I'm putting this on top of the stencil, so you can't really see it. Enjoy the now. This great palm leaf. And then 2 smaller palm leaves. So that comes in a package of 10. Then you can also still use these as a paper piece themselves. They don't have to be used as stencils. They can be used as die cuts. But here I use it as a stencil. Then I will also link this heart cut file that I picked up from the Silhouette store. And that's the heart I used over and over again on all these tags. So I cut one in vellum, then I used the inside piece of this solid paper that I cut and I layered it on top. I also used this Love You Endlessly from the Definitions stickers, and then just finished it with this wide striped trim. And that's tag number 2. Okay, tag number 3 starts with the textured textured cardstock, but this time I use the Heidi Swapp glue pen. This is the wide tip pin, and I just added swipes to the edge. And the thing with the glue pen is all you really need to do is let it get tacky. I went ahead and ran it through the machine with the champagne foil on top, but you don't have to do that. You could just use it and tap it and kind of rub your finger over it, and you don't have to use the machine. I just opted to do that, and I gave it just a really good coverage and some extra texture to this particular tag. So then the next layer you can see is a rectangle scrap piece of pattern paper from Art Walk. It's not the full length or width of the tag. Every layer that comes next is always going to be a tad smaller. And again, you can refer, and I can link below some tag mini albums that I've done. That's the same concept, making all the layers as you move up a little bit smaller than the one previous. The next layer after that is just another piece of vellum. And again, the Art Walk stamp has found its home there. This time I have a layer of, these are all connected, but I have a layer of this trim, and this is just some scrap trim that I had, but I think I can link this below. I think I picked this up from Amazon. You can see here this little trim of pattern paper that's maybe about 2.5 inches tall. I have it V-notched, and then I popped up this other solid paper, the heart cut out, and there's a pop dot here that's just layered right on top in the center. And then again, same technique here, small hole in this definition sticker, and then tied on with this metallic thread. And that is tag number 3. All right, tag number 4 has a little bit more technique going on. I think this might have actually been my first tag. So here's what happened here. You can see a real subtle stencil at play here. That's from the Art Walk stencils, and it's this one right here. I use the daubing tool from ScrapbookCom exclusive daubers. I don't think they're called daubers, so I'll have it listed correctly down below. And I use the pink ink. It's not on my table here, but it's a ink from the Art Walk collection. And I made that stencil just kind of subtle coming in and sort of an ombre look, and it got darker towards the corner. Then I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It's super soft, but I used the script texture stamp from the Art Walk stamps, and I added a little bit of that right here to the edge. I also have it up here on the edge as well. And then I inked the edges with pink and gray. The next piece over that is a notched piece of vellum. There's that pattern paper that I've already used once before on a tag. And then I don't know if you can see, there's a smaller, I'll lift this up, there you can see it. There's a smaller hello. I'm gonna see if I can find that paper real quick. It looks like this. And you can see where I cut out the hello. So it's a beautiful textured background with all these words on it. You could trim those words out and use them individually. You could use the whole sheet as background paper. Possibilities are always limitless on this. I chose to just make it as part of my layering for this tag, and I cut out the hello, but then it's layered with another heart die cut, digital die cut. And then what I did again is I used the glue pen again, and I added swipes of the glue to my heart cutout. Then I used the foil flakes just over obviously the tacky part of the glue, and I just rubbed them in. Then I came back with paper towel and I rubbed it again, and it gives this beautiful gilded kind of look to this heart. Super classy and sophisticated, yet with all this pattern paper, you still get this kind of grungy sort of look too. So I had a lot of fun with that. So these pieces here are just stapled to the background. This was just very lightly, actually barely glued. I think it's only actually hanging on. Yeah, there we go. It's hanging on just by how I tied this love you tag to the front. And so the last piece that I have on here, this is also from Art Walk, and I have these tucked away here in this glassine bag. These are textured tags, tone-on-tone tags, and a lot of them have the palm tree motif on them. This one says, Dreamers, enjoy the now. I love my tribe. Beautiful tags. This one's super cute too. Today is a good day. So I don't know if you can see the texture on there, but what I did is I took some pink ink on my finger and I just rubbed it over to give it a little bit of texture, and you can really see really clear how that says love you. All right, tag number 5 actually isn't too terribly different than this one. You can see a lot of similarities between those two. But let me start from the beginning. So this time, the background tag is not the white cardstock, but it's from the Art Walk paper pad, and the whole entire back tag is pattern paper. Same idea, same size as all the rest of them. Textured edges, I pulled up the edges. I added some photo corners to the edge just for some additional interest. And then you might be able to see here, this script tag, actually it's like a typed stamp, and that's also from the texture stamps from Art Walk, and that's just right there to give that some extra interest. Then a patterned notch tag, and again, not the full size of the tag. A lot of these aren't attached to the top. I centered a lot of the embellishments right towards the lower part of the tag. So that is a notched piece of pattern paper. And then this is one of the embossed tags. That's the next layer there. Then I used the mink sheet and cut out a large heart from the mink sheet. So it's all entirely champagne colored and foiled. Again, with the definition sticker on top, and it's popped up. And then everything is tied down with a piece of baker's twine. These are great just tags that you can pop to the top of a card base and your card's done. These would be beautiful on a scrapbook page as an embellishment cluster. These would obviously be great for gift tag. My sister, who I almost always make a gift tag for any kind of occasion that I'm giving her a gift, And she keeps them and pulls them out every year and has a Christmas tree with all my tags. So that's kind of a fun way that she has used these tags through the year. But what you can see here real easy is I have this vellum mink technique here. And again, pulling from the stencils. I love this dot stencil. I used the white texture paste and gave a coat of the stencil on the vellum. I covered it with champagne foil, yet again, ran it through the mink according to manufacturer's directions, and I have this beautiful element that is the subtle champagne foil. It's a great layering background to this tag. Then what I did is I took one of the texture tags, love, life is good, it's cool to be kind, stay chill, don't worry, be happy, good vibes. I lifted up the edges, I distressed the edges, and then I just tucked this little piece. I had a scrap of that pink and white dot art wallpaper, and that's just another little element there below. I really need to adhere this down much better. Then I tried to see how small my machine could get that heart cut file, and I got it pretty small, and I attached the baker's twine to my tag, and then I looped it around. Before I stapled the baker's twine down, I added the heart to the twine. So it's very dangly and ethereal and very floaty and super small. So I was pretty proud. Just got to make sure on your silhouette or whatever your cutting machine of choice is that your blade is pretty fresh and your mat is a decent level of sticky. Check out the link to the blog post before so you can get an up close personal look at all these tags. But just know, if you need a creative play, you don't really have any reason to make something, pull out a tag template, pull out a couple sheets of paper, keep your stash and supply limited, pull out a couple of trims, find a favorite die cut, and just play. And I hope this inspired you too to play. I enjoyed making these cards so much. My hope is for you to get the same kind of joy out of these, and that you too will make pretty stuff for you and your friends. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being such a great community. I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up on this video. And then if you already subscribe, tell a friend and ask them to subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.